When Maurice Gleaton crossed the finish line in 9.92 seconds, he didn't just win a race. He tied the fastest time any high school student has ever run in American history. And he did it while competing against Olympic champions and the best sprinters in the world. And Maurice Gleaton was born on November 26, 2006 in Fairburn, Georgia. He goes to Langston Hughes High School in South Fulton, where he's not just a track star, he also plays football as a wide receiver. But it's on the track where Maurice really shines, and in 2025, before he even graduated high school, he did something that made the entire sprinting world stop and pay attention. His journey to greatness started back in his sophomore year in 2023. That's when Maurice was just 16 years old. He went to the Nike Outdoor Nationals High School Championships and won the gold medal in the 200 meters. He also finished second in the 100 meters. But here's what made people really notice him. He ran the 100 meters in 10.14 seconds. For a 10th grader, that's incredibly fast. He also ran the 200 meters in 20.52 seconds. Both of these times broke American records for 10th grade students. That same year, Maurice broke an 8-year-old Georgia state record when he ran 10.14 at the state championship. Suddenly, this sophomore was ranked 5th in the entire nation for the 100 meters. He was also ranked 7th in the nation for the 200 meters. People started asking, who is this kid? Maurice's track coach is Roland Colvin. Coach Colvin took over the program when Maurice was a freshman, and he saw something special right away. He said he's always had that work ethic in him, but sophomore year is when he really started showing it. He wants to be the best sprinter to come through Georgia, and he just keeps working. It's hard for him to rest because he just wants to keep going. We don't have to push him. It's, Coach, what do we have today? Let's go. He's always ready. Maurice himself talked about that sophomore year. He said, that sophomore year, I was just wanting to get better. I was dedicated to the sport, training, and working to get better and better every year. And get better he did. In 2024, during his junior year, Maurice went back to the Nike Outdoor Nationals. This time, he won gold in both the 100 meters and the 200 meters. He was a double champion. His personal best that year was 10.19 seconds in the 100 meters. That made him the fastest 100-meter runner in all of Georgia. He also won the gold medal at the state championships. He was now ranked as the 9th fastest high school sprinter in the entire country. But 2025 was when everything exploded. In March, Maurice went to the Bob Hayes Invitational in Jacksonville, Florida. He ran 10.01 seconds in the 100 meters. That was the fastest time anyone in the United States had run that year. He also won the 200 meters in 20.64 seconds, which set a new school record. Then came April 2025. Maurice was at the GHSA 5A Region 3 meet. This was a regular regional competition, nothing too fancy. But what happened that day was anything but regular. Maurice ran the 100 meters in 9.98 seconds. The wind reading was exactly 0.0, which means it was perfectly legal with no wind help at all. Let me explain why this is such a big deal. Breaking 10 seconds in the 100 meters is what separates good sprinters from world-class sprinters. Most professional sprinters train their entire lives and never break 10 seconds. And here was Maurice, still in high school, running 9.98. He became the first high school athlete in Georgia history to break the 10-second barrier. He also set the second fastest wind-legal time in American high school history. The previous Georgia state record was 10.16 seconds. That record was held by Christian Coleman, who went on to become a world champion. Maurice didn't just break that record, he destroyed it. People started calling it probably the greatest track and field performance in Georgia state history. Maurice also helped his school's relay team. At the MTFXCCGA Invitational, he ran the anchor leg for the 4x100 relay. His team finished in 40.39 seconds. That was the fastest relay time in the nation that year. But Maurice wasn't done yet. On June 14th, 2025, something incredible happened at the Star Athletics Sprint Series in Florida. Maurice lined up against Christian Coleman. Remember, Coleman is a world champion. He's one of the best sprinters on the planet. And Maurice was about to race against him. When the gun went off, Maurice exploded out of the blocks. He ran 9.82 seconds. Yes, you heard that right, 9.82 seconds. Now the wind was 2.8 meters per second, which means it was wind-assisted and doesn't count as an official record, but Maurice still beat Christian Coleman, who ran 9.93. He also beat Brandon Hicklin, who ran 9.92. An 18-year-old high school student just defeated a world champion. Later in June, Maurice went to the Nike Outdoor Nationals Championship. He finished second in the 100 meters with a time of 10.11 seconds. He lost by just 0.01 seconds to Tate Taylor. Tate Taylor is another incredible high school sprinter from Texas who also ran 9.92 during his senior year. Then came the big test, the USA Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon. This is where the best athletes in America compete. This is where Olympic teams are chosen, and Maurice was going to compete against professional sprinters who do this for a living. On the first day, Maurice ran in Heat 2. He came out of lane 9 and ran 10.10 seconds. He finished second in his heat, right behind Kenny Bednarek. Bednarek is an Olympic silver medalist. Maurice looked incredibly composed. He moved on to the semifinals. The next day, Maurice ran his semifinal race. He finished in 10.05 seconds and placed third in his heat. He qualified for the finals as a time qualifier. Now he was going to run in the finals against the absolute best sprinters in the country. That final race was something people will remember for a long time. Maurice stepped onto the track knowing this was his last high school race. When it was over, he had run 9.92 seconds. He finished 6th overall in the finals, but more importantly, he tied the high school national record. The same 9.92 that Tate Taylor ran. They now share the record as the fastest high school sprinters in American history. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. He had just competed against Olympic medalists and world champions. He had just hit the world championship standard, and he did it all while still being a high school student. Because of his performance, Maurice was selected to be part of the American relay team for the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. He was going to represent his country on the world stage. So what makes Maurice so special? It's not just his speed, it's his mindset. Maurice said, "I'm going to continue competing with other great athletes, continue to get better, then go pro and hopefully go to the Olympics. I don't like losing. I like to be better every time I race. There's never a perfect race, and that's a big thing for me. With the competition that's out there, I always like to improve. That attitude is what separates good athletes from great ones." Maurice isn't satisfied with being fast. He wants to be the best. He wants to keep improving. And with the way he's progressing, there's no telling how fast he can go. Maurice has already committed to attend the University of Georgia on a full scholarship. He'll join their track team and compete at the college level. After that, he plans to go professional, and his ultimate dream, the Olympics.
She was raised by two extraordinary women, her grandmother, Betty Harp, and her aunt, Shay Richardson, whom she lovingly calls Mom. They became her anchor, her guidance, and her greatest cheerleaders. Shakari often says, "Without my grandmother, there would be no Shakari Richardson."
Shakari Richardson just revealed the women who shaped her fire and turned her into a force. Their voices pushed her, lifted her, and made her unstoppable. Her story hits hard and pulls you in fast. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss another inspiring story like this one. Shakari Richardson has become one of the biggest names in track and field, an Olympic medalist who's captured the world's attention not just with her incredible speed, but with her unapologetic personality and vibrant presence. But behind every great athlete is a story, and Richardson's story is deeply rooted in the strong black women who shaped her into the champion she is today. In a recent appearance on Serena and Venus Williams' podcast called Stockton Street, Richardson pulled back the curtain on her life and revealed something incredibly powerful. She didn't grow up with a traditional family structure. Instead, she was raised by her grandmother, Betty Harp, and her aunt, whom she actually calls her mother. These women became the foundation of everything she would eventually accomplish on the track. Richardson started running when she was just 9 years old. From that young age, she was surrounded by the influence of powerful women who would guide her, support her, and lift her up through every challenge that came her way. And trust me, there were challenges. Big ones. One of the most devastating moments in Richardson's life came just 1 week before the Tokyo Olympic trials. Her biological mother passed away. Imagine that for a second. You're about to compete on one of the biggest stages of your athletic career. and you lose your mother. The pain, the grief, the emotional weight of that moment could have broken anyone. But Richardson had something that kept her going. She had the women in her life who had always been there, who knew how to hold her up when she couldn't stand on her own. Their presence during that incredibly difficult time helped her survive. It wasn't just about getting through the trials or pushing through the pain. It was about finding stability and purpose again when everything felt like it was falling apart. The love from her grandmother, her aunt, and the other strong women in her circle brought her back to a place where she could breathe, where she could remember why she ran in the first place. During the podcast with the Williams sisters, Richardson got real about what these women mean to her. And when she spoke, you could feel the emotion, the gratitude, and the deep respect she has for them. She said, "I definitely feel there's strong energy in the presence of women in my life, especially strong Black women. From my grandmother, to my aunt, to my mom, even to even teachers, coaches that I had, I feel like we are a big, just inspiration to me when it comes to even the strength I know I can have, like the power I know I can have. But well, it's just like nurturing." Let that sink in for a moment. Richardson isn't just talking about physical strength or athletic power. She's talking about something deeper. She's talking about the combination of power and nurturing that these women provided. It's not one or the other. It's both. The strength to push through anything, combined with the nurturing that reminds you that you're loved, that you're valued, that you matter beyond your accomplishments. She continued, "I think life was a big thing receiving from just the Black women and the Black women. The feminine energy I received was the power and the nurturing as well. Together, that kind of feeds me to do things that I do today." Richardson has always been vocal about her pride in being an African American woman. She doesn't shy away from it. She embraces it fully. For her, this identity isn't separate from her athletic success. It's woven into every fiber of who she is. The strength she carries on the track and off the track is directly tied to her identity, to the legacy of strong Black women who came before her, and to the women who raised her with both power and tenderness. Think about what that means in the context of track and field, a sport where Black women have historically dominated while often not receiving the recognition or resources they deserve. Richardson stands on the shoulders of pioneers, and she knows it. She feels it, and she's determined to honor that legacy. Speaking of honoring legacies, Richardson isn't just focused on her own success. She's thinking bigger. In a conversation with World Athletics, she made it clear that she wants to elevate track and field as the world moves toward the 2028 Olympics. She's not content with just being fast. She wants to help grow the sport, make it more visible, more celebrated, and more accessible. She wants the next generation of young girls, especially young Black girls, to see themselves in her and know that they too can be unstoppable. And she's backing up that vision with results. At the World Athletics Championships 2025, Richardson won gold in the 4x100-meter relay, further cementing her place among the world's best sprinters. This wasn't just another medal. This was a statement, a reminder that despite the setbacks, despite the personal tragedy, despite everything she's been through, she's still here, still competing at the highest level, and still winning. But here's what makes this story even more powerful. Richardson could have easily become bitter. She could have let the loss of her biological mother derail her completely. She could have looked at the challenges in her life and decided it was too much. But instead, she leaned into the love and strength that the women in her life had poured into her. She let their nurturing heal her. She let their power fuel her. And she transformed her pain into purpose. That's the thing about Richardson that so many people connect with. She's real. She doesn't pretend to be perfect. She doesn't hide her emotions or her struggles. She shows up as exactly who she is. Colorful hair, bold personality, and all. And that authenticity comes directly from the women who raised her to be confident in who she is, to never apologize for taking up space, and to always remember where her strength comes from. When you watch Richardson compete, you're not just watching an athlete. You're watching the embodiment of Betty Harp's wisdom, her aunt's love, and the collective strength of every woman who believed in her. You're watching someone who understands that being unstoppable isn't about never falling down. It's about having people who will help you get back up every single time. Richardson's journey from a 9-year-old girl just starting to run to an Olympic medalist and gold medal winner at the World Athletics Championships is a testament to the power of community, family, and the unique strength that comes from being raised by strong women. These women didn't just teach her how to run fast. They taught her how to be resilient, how to find her power, how to nurture herself and others, and how to carry herself with pride and purpose. As she looks ahead to 2028 and beyond, Richardson carries with her not just her own dreams, but the dreams of her grandmother, her aunt, her mother, and every woman who poured into her life. She runs for them. She wins for them. And in doing so, she's showing the world what's possible when strong women invest in the next generation. That's what makes Shakari Richardson truly unstoppable.
He's done it again! A year later, rewriting the world record again!
Few athletes in history have changed a sport the way Usain Bolt did. The Jamaican sprinter didn't just win races, he redefined what the world thought was humanly possible. Years after hanging up his spikes, his name still stands as the ultimate benchmark of speed, power, and charisma. Usain Bolt, born on August 21, 1986 in Trelawney, Jamaica, is more than an athlete. He's a global icon whose name redefines speed itself. He isn't just a record holder or a gold medalist. He stands as the greatest sprinter the world has ever seen. For more than a decade, Bolt's breathtaking dominance didn't just shatter records, it reshaped what people believed the human body could achieve.
Cleveland finishing fast, Bolt wins, Bolt wins, and Bolt has smashed his own world record, just as he did in Beijing.
What Bolt did on the track has never been done before, and quite possibly will never be done again. He holds the world records in the 100 meters at 9.58 seconds and the 200 meters at 19.19 seconds, both set in 2009, a year that cemented his status as the fastest man in history. No one has come within 0.12 seconds of either record since his retirement in 2017. When I was competing, I was working to break the benchmark, Bolt reflected during the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. Now that I've retired, it's a great feeling to know that I'm the benchmark. If you want to be the best, you want to be a legend. I wanted to set high standards, and I did. That benchmark is astonishing. 8 Olympic gold medals, 11 world championship titles, and 3 world records that continue to stand. His dominance spanned 3 Olympic Games, winning gold in the 100 meters and 200 meters at Beijing 2008, London 2012, and Rio 2016. His electrifying performances and charismatic celebrations turned him into a global icon. But Bolt wasn't just fast. He brought fun back to the sport. His signature lightning bolt pose, infectious grin, and showmanship made him a fan favorite around the world. He didn't just win, he entertained. "It's the personality," Bolt said. "A lot of people, they try to be fun, but it comes off different. It's just having a good time. I try to engage with fans, and that's why they gravitated to it." Bolt's talent was evident early. At just 15, he won the 200 meters at the 2002 World Junior Championships, becoming the youngest ever male World Junior champion. By 17, he had already broken the 20-second barrier in the 200 meters. Despite early setbacks, including a hamstring injury at the 2004 Olympics, Bolt persevered. His breakthrough came in 2008. That year, Bolt stunned the world at the Beijing Olympics, winning the 100 meters in 9.69 seconds, the 200 meters in 19.30 seconds, and leading Jamaica to a 4 by 100-meter relay gold in 37.10 seconds. All 3 performances set world records at the time. A year later, at the 2009 World Championships in Berlin, Bolt obliterated his own records. He ran the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds and the 200 meters in 19.19 seconds. These times remain untouched. Asked why, Bolt quipped, "Do you really want the answer? We're just more talented. You can't run faster just with brand new spikes. Indeed, even as technology advances, with carbon-plated super spikes and faster tracks, Bolt's records endure. Beyond numbers, Bolt's presence was unmatched. The Olympics, a stage in need of stars, found its savior in the lanky Jamaican with the megawatt smile. He filled stadiums, drew TV ratings, and brought the world together in shared awe. At his peak, he was more than an athlete. He was a phenomenon. Oblique Seville, the 2025 100-meter world champion, recently acknowledged Bolt's enduring influence. "Since my father passed away, Usain Bolt's my motivator," he said. "Even for the new generation, Bolt remains the standard." Since retiring, Bolt has embraced a quieter life. Now 39, he admits that simple tasks like walking upstairs leave him winded. "I'm not a fan, but I think now that I've been out for a while, I have to actually start running," he joked.